It was described as a turning point for disability, with Paralympic athletes competing in packed stadiums to rapturous applause. But 5 years after the glory of 2012, many say life for disabled people in Britain simply hasn't changed. Kelly Perks-Bevington is managing director of Kidderminster Harriers Football Club, but can't even get into her own boardroom because there's no wheelchair access. She thinks, if anything, attitudes towards disabled people might have got worse.
They think that you've got aspirations to be a Paralympian just because you are in a wheelchair or you've got a disability, and that's never been my goal. I'm not a sporty person, and I don't believe that disabled people should just be in the spotlight because they're in sport. There's so many other things that people can achieve, and I think those things sometimes go unnoticed a little bit as well.
The charity Scope found 38% of disabled people think attitudes haven't improved towards them since 2012. 75% have seen no change in the way the public talks to them. And 28% say the Paralympics hasn't delivered a positive legacy for disabled people.
There needs to be a change in attitudes. We need to see much more visible role models and much more visibility of disability all year round, not just for the two weeks of the Paralympics every 4 years, but the other 50 weeks of every year as well. Much better education in our schools and much better education, I think, in society.
Richard Whitehead won gold in 2012 and tries to use his success to change attitudes.
I know some of the challenges that people with disability have can obviously be really hard to get over, but there is people out there that can support, and hopefully role models such as myself and other athletes can also take them on board and break down some of those barriers.
Kelly's been teased for being in a wheelchair and says those comments can be very hurtful.
People that perhaps are having a really hard time, and those comments will play on their mind for a while, and it's sad that people have to deal with that still today.
There has been progress since 2012, but Kelly says there is still much more work to be done. Layla Hayes, 5 News.